This is Redder from the Redder Tape Blog coming to another edition of MLB Observations of the 2021 season, Week 12. The Nationals, I don't know what's their problem. They continue to bat Kyle Schwarber leadoff, and yeah, he's had 5 leadoff home runs. He's been on fire, but you want that type of power and home run hitting when you got runners on base, like Trey Turner, Josh Harrison, or even Juan Soto ahead of him getting on base. That's what you'd want. Then the Pirates, Ke'Bryan Hayes has been on fire offensively, but you want him to come up with runners on as the number 2 hitter. And then Phillip Evans, I know you got Hayes at third base and you got Colin Moran at first base, but maybe, just maybe, if you do play him, you play him in left field, not right field. And then Eric Gonzalez, I know there's no room to play him because they have a set infield, but playing at first base is kind of embarrassing. And Adam Frazier, everyday second baseman, he should not be in the outfield because you already are playing Brian Reynolds in center field when he's a left fielder, despite having Ben Gamel and this Ty Time on the roster, Destin Fowler this year. Like, they've rotated through so many center fielders the past 2 seasons. They play this guy when he's not supposed to even be there. Then the Jays, why is Marcus Semien lead off? Because then I see Kevin Vigil bat 5, 6, or 7, and I'm saying to myself, like, why? Vigil's not a power RBI guy. He's a contact get on base guy. Semien, it's a lot of home runs for a shortstop and drives in a lot of runs. Grichuk has been center field. Now Springer's back. Springer's in center field. I'm like, what are you doing? They're both not center fielders. Then Teoscar Hernandez is not a cleanup hitter. That's more of a Guerrero, Tellez, or even George Springer job. And then Joe Panic playing first base when he's really there to back up the infield. And then Marcus Semien plays shortstop one day, so that's interesting, even though they have Bo Bichette. You would think Espinal or Panic would be asked to play shortstop. No, Semien moved to shortstop. And then Biggio, besides him batting in the wrong spot of the lineup, why are you playing him in right field? You got enough outfielders to go along that you just keep him in the infield. And the problem with the A's is they continue to play Can center field on days when Laureano's in play. Then they continue to bat him leadoff or bat him second when he's a power guy. It's only once this week he played some first base because it's an actual position. And then the Laureano batting cleanup is stupid when he's not a power hitter, and Chapman's middle of the order hitter, he's not number 2 hitter. It's like, it's one thing if Sky Bolt or Seth Brown play center field and you want to play Laureano right field, but Laureano probably would have won the Gold Glove last year if they didn't give it to Luis Roberts. That's how good he is off defensively, that he should always be playing center field no matter what. Then the Yankees, that bad usually Mayu lead off and Judge second. Judge is the middle of the order hitter, he's not a number 2 hitter. And the whole, let's take a backup, play him at second base, and play DJ LeMahieu at first base or third base when he's a Gold Glove second baseman is pretty stupid. Plus, he's not a leadoff hitter. Judge is not a center fielder. Miguel Andujar's not a left fielder, and Tyler Wade's not a center fielder. At least with Wade, he's a utility player, and you play him wherever. Gleyber Torres is not a number 3 hitter. We got Stan, Judge, and Voigt. That just makes absolutely no sense there. Judge should never be playing center field. You got Brett Gardner on your team, and if he's not playing center field, then maybe, just maybe, you play Clint Frazier in center field. I don't know. That's much better than what they're doing right now. Cardinals, they usually have a perfect lineup, but they still believe in batting Paul DeJong 8th. Everything else in the lineup is great, but why is he so low when he was batting in the middle of the lineup before? Braves, still the same issue. Ronald Acuna, Freddie Freeman, Ozzie Albies, Abraham Almontes are 1 through 4. One guy's a perfect number 2 hitter, which is Albies. Almonte has never been a great hitter, and Acuna Freeman should be middle of the lineup. One day Swanson led off. I said, okay, that's not bad. The Braves that they just called Jesse Chavez to start when he's been a reliever and a starter, and he's not really a good starter. When Newcomb, who was fighting for rotation spot last year and this year, is not even getting a sniff. If Tuki Toussaint's injured, that's fine if he's not pitching, but why is Newcomb pitching at a bullpen when I got all these injuries to the rotation? Then the Twins. Nick Gordon's not a center fielder. Stop doing that. Kepler is a center fielder, but you got Killarov and Larnach and this other. You got 3 young rookie outfielders. Between the 3 of them, one of them should be playing center field. That's just what it should be. Polanco, we've been over, he's not a leadoff hitter. Nor is Josh Donaldson a number 2 hitter. Byron Buxton's not a number 2 hitter. And then again, you got Miguel Sano and you got Ostadulo. You got enough guys who play first base that Killarov should not be playing first base when he's a natural born outfielder. Miguel Sano should not be playing third base. The whole point of him moving to first base is because he's not a great defensive player. That's why you got Donaldson to shift him over. And then Schumacher, you signed him to start, not relief. That's a waste of money. Then the Marlins. Stop betting Tony Marte second when he's a middle of the order hitter. And Miguel Rojas is the contact hitter. He's not a number 5 hitter. Rangers, we've been over this. Isaiah Falefa is not a leadoff hitter. He's not a shortstop. Wrong spot. Nick Solak is good in the 2 spot. Don't bat him 5th. Roland Garcia is not a number 3 hitter. And Nate Lau is not a number 2 hitter. He's a power guy. He's all or nothing. Then you're paying all the money for Jordan Lyles. Don't want to pitch him out of the bullpen. Cubs, stop doing the Chris Bryant in right field, the center field, the first base. Patrick Wisdom, natural born first baseman. He should play first base when Rizzo doesn't. And Wisdom is a career journeyman, so he should play wherever you want, not to throw Bryant everywhere. And Bryant's not a number 2 hitter. And then Eric Sogard pitched, which was interesting. The Royals, Irvin Santana, Zimmer, and Bubik all are starting pitchers by trade, and Bubik and Zimmer were competing for rotation spots in spring training. That pitch out of the bullpen is stupid. We went over this. Carlos Santana's not a number 2 hitter. And now I'm going to tell you this. Alberto Mondesi's not a number 4 hitter. And Dozier's not an outfielder. It's one thing if last year they had Mikael Franco, if you put Whit Merrifield at third base. But you're playing Hanser Alberto, Olivier, Gutierrez, people that I've never heard of. All these nobodies, Olivier is an outfielder. Instead of Dozier's not be playing the outfield unless there's no other choice. And Whit Merrifield, he plays second base once this week. That's cool. It's his actual position. And O'Hearn, again, stop playing guys in the outfield. They're not outfield. He's a first baseman. White Sox, stop playing Jake Lamb in right field. And then they've had some injuries, but still, Moncada's not a number 2 hitter. Brian Goodwin's not a cleanup hitter. Mercedes batting all the way 8th is stupid. Moncada should be batting 3rd in a Braves cleanup. That's how it should be. Mercedes should bat 5th or 6th. Goodwin either top of the lineup or bottom lineup. Astros. Instead of having Altuve lead off, or Brantley bats 2nd. And unless you bet Brantley 3rd a couple of times, that's where he belongs. He's number 2 hitter. And then Jordan Alvarez is not a great outfielder. Stop playing left field. And Garrett Stubbs a catcher. Why is he in left field? Brewers, Vogelbach, stop batting him 2nd, and the catchers like Pena and Navarro is 4th and 5th, and backup outfielder Tyron Taylor to be 3rd. It's not the right spots for them. Rockies. You have enough outfielders between Daza, Hillard, Tapia, and Blackman that Hampson should not be playing center field. McMahon, you got enough infielders in Rogers and Hampson that he should not be playing 2nd, and we've been over this. Blackman's not a cleanup hitter. He used to be a leadoff hitter, so he's better suited to maybe that 3rd or 5th. And so Steam pitching a bullpen is just a waste. Tigers. You know, Robbie Grossman's not a leadoff hitter, nor is he number 3 hitter. Jonathan Scope's not a first baseman, and Willie Castro second base. So stop playing Nico Goodrum, Harold Castro, and Paredes at shortstop. So he's playing 2nd, and Scope's playing first base. One thing to move Kennel to first base. Then Harold Castro pitched, which was interesting. Then Haas, we've been over. He's a catcher. He's not a left fielder, and he's not a middle of the order 4 or 5 hitter. And at the same time, Norris and Fulmer, with your rotation not being that great, why do they waste them in the bullpen? Angels, we know it. Upton and Ohtani are not the 1 and 2 hitters in your lineup, because then you got guys who are not suited in the middle lineup. Ward is not a middle of the order hitter, and he's not a third baseman. Not an outfielder, let alone a center fielder. And the other week, Keenan Wong was playing the outfield like they're doing Rojas and Phil Gosselin. Now Rengifo, natural born's like a baseman, or middle infielders playing the outfield. Like, what are you doing? And then, Jose Quintana plays the bullpen's a waste when you got him to start. And then, Taylor Ward, who is a natural born catcher, which is why playing the outfield is stupid, playing center field is even dumber, came in to play catcher because they went to extra innings and there was an injury of the catcher to one of their catchers, so he had to come in. And then Griffin Canning started to play left field, which is interesting. Dodgers. Jimmy Nelson, David Price are waste pitching out of the bullpen. Maybe it keeps Nelson healthy, but with Price, it's a waste. Will Smith is not a cleanup hitter. And we've been at McKinstry's not an outfielder. Beatty's not an outfielder, let alone a right fielder. And Muncie's not a number 2 hitter or a second baseman. He's a power hitter. And Bellinger is not a center fielder. Got enough center fielders in their roster. Diamondbacks. Rojas is not an outfielder. Nor is Ketel Marte. Nor is Pavin Smith. Let alone center fielder Pavin Smith. Nor is a number 2 hitter. And then waste time with Van Meter, who's a super utility guy. He's not a middle of the order hitter. Stop wasting your time there. And, I'm not the biggest fan of Pavin Smith leading off or Ketel Marte, but Marte's at least better. Rhys Hoskins. Man, the Phillies have line up great with Herrera and Segura at the top. And Real Muto, Harper, McCutcheon, and Hoskins. That was great. Now Hoskins batting 2nd. What are you doing? You had it correct. The Reds, we've been on Tyler Hick was on another 3 through 5 hit. Winker's on a number 2 hitter. Barnard and Stevenson, your catchers who don't really hit, are not 4th and 5th hitters. And Kyle Farmer's on a shortstop. He's a catcher. Padres, great over it. Christian's on a 3 hitter. Norris, Cronenworth. Famon's on a leadoff hitter, but he's better than what they've been doing before. Machado's on a number 2 hitter. And Profire's on a center fielder, man. The Rays, Kyle McHugh's not a reliever. Start this guy. We've been over this. Choi's not a number 2 hitter. Randy Arena's on the middle of the order hitter. And we've been over this. Johnny Diaz, not a leadoff hitter. Wander Franco just got called up. Batting him 3rd is a little bit too much pressure on him. Wendell Willis is barely a second baseman, let alone a third baseman. So he's actually playing shortstop. And Lyle's not an outfielder. We've been over this. The Mariners, Mitch Haniger, we know is not a number 2 hitter. Tom Murphy's not in the middle of the order hitter. Jake Bowers and Shed Long are first baseman, second baseman. They should not be playing the outfield. The Mariners have so many outfielders. They should be in the outfield. Indians, Harold Ramirez is not a number 5 hitter. And Bobby Bradley is an inexperienced hitter. Should not be batting 3rd. And we've been over this. Cesar Hernandez is not a leadoff hitter. Oriole, Mancini's not a number 2 hitter. And Austin Hayes is definitely not a 3 hitter. They've been batting Trey Mancini 3rd a few times. That's where you should just keep him there. And I did like when Trey Mancini and Ryan Mancuso were batting 3 and 4. That makes sense. The Giants, we've been over this. Slater's not a leadoff hitter, nor is he a center fielder. The Red Sox, Bobby Delbach's not a number 9 hitter because he's a good offensive guy. And Chavis is not a leadoff hitter. He's a swing and miss all or nothing guy. And the Mets, we've been on McCann's not a number 3 hitter. Jeff McNeil's not. Billy McKinney's not. If you got Michael Conforto, Dominic Smith, and Pete Alonso, that's your 3 through 5, however you want to do it. And also McNeil's not a leadoff hitter. Thank you for listening to another edition of Baseball Observations of the 2021 season, Week 12. For On the Radar and Blog, I'm Raider. See you guys next time.